It's official. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have filed for divorce. You heard that right. Bennifer is over. Now, maybe we can stop paying attention to them so much. In an article posted yesterday, sources claim that the couple are once again pushing ahead with divorce after a final attempt at reconciliation in the recent weeks failed. Now, the couple's divorce documents are finalized but not turned in yet, multiple sources have claimed. They finalized the divorce papers with her a month ago, but they are waiting for the right time to drop them, one source close to the duo claimed. At that time, they will release a joint statement that will say how they have much love for each other and how they fought to make it work but couldn't. Now, as you may know, in May, Ben moved out of their joint mansion in Beverly Hills and moved into a rental in Brentwood close to his ex-wife Jennifer Gardner. It was then reported that Ben and JLo were selling their $60 million mansion, but just this week, Ben bought a new $20.5 million bachelor pad mansion on JLo's birthday. Now, the day after he purchased this house, the Beverly Hills house went on sale publicly for $68 million. The couple, who purchased the 12-bedroom, 24-bathroom home for $60,850,000 in May 2023, initially attempted to sell the property off-market, but clearly that didn't work out. Now, JLo celebrated her birthday with friends and family last week, but Ben was nowhere to be found. Jen posted a photo of her celebrating and captioned the post, "I've been seeing all of your birthday wishes, beautiful videos, and posts all last night and this morning from all over the world." She began with her caption, "I have laughed, smiled, shed some tears. I really do have the best, most amazing fans in the world. I could never express how moved I am or how incredibly blessed I feel to have all of you be a part of my life." She continued by saying, "It's hard to believe we've spent all this time together. It's funny, as I sit here contemplating on the most extraordinary journey, I still feel like the same girl starting out, so full of energy and bravado, so ready to take on the whole world outside, and yet so tender, fragile, and sometimes frightened, but always full of love on the inside." She then told her fans that they're her biggest gift on her birthday besides her friends and family, which includes her 16-year-old twins, whom she shares with her ex-husband Mark Anthony. "You've always been there for me in the good times and in the tough times." Now, a source recently told People that her summer isn't exactly what she originally had planned, but she's making the best of it. "She's always been grateful for family time," the source said. "She had a great weekend with family and friends. She loves entertaining and enjoyed her birthday bash. She was in a happy mood." Now, the couple, Jen and Ben, haven't actually been spotted in public together for a while. The last time they were spotted together, the couple, joined by Ben's mom, were supporting the actor's son Samuel at his basketball game. Now, as the pair walked in, Jen leaned forward to give Ben a slightly forced-looking kiss on the cheek, and Ben appeared to tense up, and it didn't look like he enjoyed it at all. Ben put his hand around JLo, but his hand never made fully contact with her lower back. Now, it also seemed like he may have dodged a full-on kiss on the lips based on the off-kilter nature of his embrace. Now, as they walked up the steps of the venue, Ben stayed at least 5 feet apart from JLo, who ventured ahead. Ben then took a moment to speak to his mom, looking more at ease, before waving his hand at photographers, and then they all went inside. Now, people noticed their absence from each other's lives when Ben did not attend the Met Gala, which Jennifer was a co-chair of, or when they didn't spend Mother's Day together. Now, Jennifer even canceled her world tour to spend times with friends and family, but she and Ben have since spent the summer apart. Jennifer has largely lived on the East Coast and traveled around the world, while Ben remained at home in Los Angeles. Now, JLo sent a special message to her fans via her On the JLo newsletter, telling them of her canceling the tour. "I'm completely heartsick and devastated about letting you down. Please know that I wouldn't do this if I didn't feel it was absolutely necessary. I promise I will make it up to you and we will all be together again. I love you all so much. Until next time." Now, representatives for Live Nation announced that the summer tour, This Is Me Live, was canceled, saying in a statement, "Jennifer is taking time off to be with her children, family, and close friends." Now, sources insisted that pulling the plug was not due to poor ticket sales, but rather for personal reasons and wanting to be with her kids. This tour was in support of her latest studio album, This Is Me Now, which was released in February. But now Ticketmaster is automatically refunding fans who purchased tickets through their website. JLo first announced the tour in the middle of February, initially as the This Is Me Now tour, and a week later 3 shows were added, but then the name of the tour was mysteriously rebranded in April. It had initially been called This Is Me Now after her latest album, in which she sang about her journey to a rekindled love with Ben. In March though, she raised some eyebrows when she and her team decided to cancel 7 shows from her tour without any explanation. Now the tour's name had changed to This Is Me Live: The Greatest Hits. Now not to mention her new album debuted at a disappointing 38 on the Billboard 200. Regardless, it just didn't seem like she'd want to sing those songs about Ben anyways, so it makes sense that she would cancel. Then, of course, there were issues with their marriage. It said that JLo was trying to convince Ben to have a child with her, and that she had some insane rules about his diet, what women he could talk to, and their life. It seemed like JLo was very controlling, and that wasn't something Ben wanted. There was also the fact that Jen created an entire album, movie, and documentary about private love letters Ben wrote to her. She didn't tell Ben about it, and he was shocked and uncomfortable because he is a very private person. Privacy is a part of the reason why they broke up in the early 2000s, because they got so much media attention and JLo ate it up, while Ben wanted to hide from all of it. Now things are not looking good for the couple, as a source from Radar Online said that JLo wants half of Ben's nearly $150 million fortune, even though herself is worth much more, about $400 million. Now she sees this move as a way for her to get back at him, claiming that she handled more of the financial responsibilities during their short-lived marriage. A person with knowledge of the matter suggests that Jennifer spent more money during their brief period together. The insider alleges JLo, who recently canceled her expensive Los Angeles residency, took on the majority of the financial responsibility. They depict Ben as a huge cheapskate who constantly complained about Lopez's spending habits. Now apparently, to avoid his grumbling, Jen covered most expenses to maintain their luxurious lifestyle. One of the little-known secrets is that Jennifer paid for much of their marital expenses, and now she feels he owes her, the source claimed. She's adding up all those private jet bills she puts on her plastic, the hotels and meals, clothes, coffee runs, gas. The high cost of living was done on her dime. She paid the lion's share for the $60 million mansion they bought too, they added. Ben took so much money out of her, at least that's what she's saying. Now, she can take some money from him too if she wants to, because they didn't get a prenup, which was a big mistake. OK Magazine said that when the pair wedded in Las Vegas, they didn't tie up their assets. According to a source, Jen's love for Ben was so unconditional at the time that she didn't see a prenup as necessary. Rumor has it that this wasn't the case in the first phase of their relationship. When the pair came together, a prenup was allegedly on the table, and it was claimed that their original prenup not only protected their assets, but protected their relationship from infidelity. The contract stated that the pair were able to keep both of their money except if Ben cheated. If he stepped out, it would effectively nullify their prenup, putting his fortune at risk. One of the biggest red flags about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's divorce is the fact that they have been living apart, completely separated. Now, although the couple made no public announcement about it, this has been confirmed by multiple sources and in multiple outlets. Now, it was first reported on May 16th that Ben had been staying at a Brentwood home all by himself. Then on May 19th, one inside source claimed that they had been staying in separate homes and the tension has been high. And then more recently, on June 28th, it was reported that Ben was moving his belongings out of their home and that the two of them only communicate now to discuss essential matters and updates. And these rumors expose their major marriage problems, which they've been hiding from the world. Now, Us Weekly spoke to someone back in May who said they started having issues a few months ago as Jen had started ramping up work commitments and prepping for her tour. They are on 2 completely different pages most of the time. Now, apparently around that same time, the couple did not celebrate Mother's Day together, which of course is a bad sign. It was also suggested that finances and parenting have made their issues worse. Meanwhile, another insider said Ben feels like Jen has a hard time feeling satisfied, and that's one of the issues they're facing. Ben is one of the only people who feels comfortable enough to be honest and real with Jen. Ben. It's part of why Jen loves him, but also why she's upset with him. Now, unfortunately, it seems like others around them are also pushing for divorce. JLo's mom allegedly told her, "Cut your losses and move on to avoid getting any deeper in this mess." She told her that she's wasted years believing that Ben was some kind of knight in shining armor. But according to her mom, he was not the person she built him up to be. It's taken too much of a toll on her, and because of this, she has lost sight of who she is and what she stands for. Meanwhile, JLo's sisters want her to file for divorce first and get on with her life so she can focus on her kids and career. And clearly, if her own family are giving her this advice, their marriage must be beyond the point of saving. Now, sadly, Ben's breakdown says a lot as well. It's clear he isn't going through the best of times at the moment. While rumors over the end of his marriage seem to be confirmed, the media spotlight that they're going through right now seems to be taking its toll. Now, Ben already proved it a few days ago after losing control and facing the paparazzi waiting for him at the exit of his mansion he shares with JLo in Beverly Hills. Now, he apparently went to pick up his personal belongings, taking advantage of the fact that his wife was on vacation in Italy. Now, one source close to him said, "It's no wonder he snapped, he's on the verge of a breakdown." Now, people close to Ben have been worried about him for a while because of what he's been going through in the past few months. They went on to say that he's in a very dark moment, and when he gets like this, his loved ones can't help but fear the worst. Now, since family has always been a fundamental pillar for Ben, he's now become very focused on his children, and surprisingly found a lot of support from his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, who has not hesitated to offer her help to Ben, even though JLo is not thrilled about it. Now, apparently Garner always steps in when he gets like this, and she's been visiting him at home a lot to make sure that he's doing well. But again, JLo is apparently not too thrilled that Jen is stepping in like this, since it's well known that she has a lot of rules when it comes to her love life, which includes controlling how often Ben sees his ex-wife. Now, it's been rumored that the actor will be reunited with his ex-wife for Deadpool 3, and a source recently told Women's Day that JLo wants 24/7 access to the set and to be able to drop in unannounced. There are to be no promo joint interviews and/or photo shoots, and no after-work socializing. She wants Ben at home as soon as he's done filming. So clearly, she is more than a little concerned about their workplace relationship. And JLo has also always been very strict on her idea of cheating, but she is known to take it a little too far. Now, she actually has a rule banning female flight attendants from her private planes because of her ex-husband's affair with one. And this is a rule that she has in place whenever she travels with Ben Affleck. Now, according to a news article, Jennifer was so angry after finding out her then-husband Mark Anthony had a fling with a flight attendant that she banned women from working on her private planes. Now, the two of them ended up splitting in 2012, but she clearly still carries that resentment with her. So much so that she can't trust these women to be around Ben either. Now, several corporate flight attendants came forward and confirmed that Jennifer brings her own male flight attendant, who is really just her personal assistant. Talk about bending the rules. Now, JLo allegedly keeps Ben on a tight leash about other things too. Before they got married, she demanded that he had to be in the best physical shape. Now, after the couple rekindled their relationship, she put him on a strict diet and workout regimen. According to an inside source, when they first started dating, Ben was up at 5 a.m. hitting the gym with JLo. Now, she told him this is unacceptable and she expects him to pick up the slack and wants him working out every day and eating right, no excuses. Now, the singer has also put her foot down when it comes to Ben's drinking. She's not a fan of drinking and partying and has always had a strict limit, but she changed this rule completely because of Ben's struggles. But you see, that's the other thing. With all of these divorce rumors going around, it's become very apparent that they are totally different people. While Ben is known as a more chill celebrity, JLo is the complete opposite. Now, she allegedly has a rule where she does not allow staff to talk to her directly or look her in the eye. In one instance, when contractors were hired for a job that could take up to a year on her house, they were informed that they were not to communicate with her at all. An inside source said she has made it clear that if any of the contractors, drivers, or domestic help make eye contact or speak to her, she will not be impressed. Now, she doesn't speak to salespeople, restaurant or hotel staff, or flight attendants. She only talks through her assistants. One flight attendant famously exposed her rude behavior. Apparently, when he asked Jennifer if she wanted a drink during a flight, she flat out ignored him, turned her head and told her assistant, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke and lime." He said she wouldn't even look at me. It was sad. She seemed so sweet in her movies. Now, it's no wonder the singer is rumored to be entitled and superficial, because so many regular people have had the unfortunate one-time experience of being snubbed by her. And J-Lo's diva behavior actually goes back decades. Just ask fellow actress Rosie Perez. Now, they met back in 1991 during an open casting call for Living in Color. At the time, Perez was the show's choreographer and Lopez was auditioning to become a member of the dance troupe known as the Fly Girls. Now, her audition was unsuccessful, but Perez saw a star quality in J-Lo and actually pulled some strings to get her in. But after she was in the group, it became clear that Lopez didn't get along with her fellow dancers. According to Perez, she was labeled as a diva right away, saying all the girls were coming into my office complaining how she was manipulating wardrobe, makeup, and me all to her advantage. Perez said she didn't believe in it at first, but then J-Lo screamed at her saying, "I know I'm good, I'm better than any of these girls and you know it." Now, what's worse is after J-Lo left the show and made it big in the music industry, she went on talk shows trashing her former choreographer. Perez also implied that J-Lo ghosted her. She said, "I called her up, she wouldn't pick up. Frustrated, I left her an irate message on her answering machine, and instead of calling me back and hashing it out like friends do, she went on a major talk show and reiterated my lashing." Not to forget the fact that Jennifer also allegedly got a German hotel maid fired for asking for an autograph. Now, the staff member was working at the luxury Malia Hotel in Dusseldorf, Germany in 2012, and she was a big fan of J-Lo and worked up the courage to knock on the star's hotel door to ask for an autograph, but she was promptly turned away. She then claimed that she was fired the day after. She told The Sun, "I am an incredibly big fan, so I took all my courage and rang the bell to get an autograph, but I was rejected by 2 assistants at the door. A day later, the cleaning company that employed me at the hotel called and said that Miss Lopez had complained. I was fired right there on the phone." Now, after receiving a rightful amount of backlash, the pop star wrote on Twitter, "Come on, thought you knew me better than this. Would never get anyone fired over an autograph. First if I heard of this was on Twitter, #hurtful." So clearly she's been a controversial figure for quite some time, and fans are pointing this out now that they seem to be on the brink of divorce. So what's in store for this couple in the future? I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but I think it ends with divorce papers.
Bennifer divorce rumors are picking up steam, and it's not hard to see why. Separate homes, solo vacations, and missing rings are flipping the script of the greatest love story never told. Here are the top 10 secrets that destroyed Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's marriage. Does Ben Affleck secretly hate J-Lo's level of fame? A recent interview with Kevin Hart has just shed some light on this debated topic. Hart's Peacock series, Heart to Heart, is a talk show that brings on A-listers to showcase their true self. Affleck was the A-lister for the season 4 premiere. A good choice considering everyone wants to know what's been up with him lately. People have been wondering if Affleck secretly dislikes his wife's level of fame. He certainly didn't help his case when he said it was effing bananas, which could mean nothing. Although he is right to say it, J-Lo's fame level is off the charts. In context, the actor had been telling a story about him and his family when they were in NYC and on their way to a Broadway show. However, due to bad traffic or something, they had to get out and walk the remainder of the way to the theater to make sure they were going to be on time. Affleck recalls that once out of the car and into Times Square, people immediately reacted to J-Lo, running backwards to get videos and pictures and screaming. It was, as Affleck claims, effing bananas. If Affleck does hate J-Lo's fame, he is trying to keep that under wraps, finishing off his story saying his wife was amazing. Sometimes secrets between couples are a good thing, and it can be a serious breach of trust when those secrets get shared without one party's consent. That That's exactly what happened between Lopez and Affleck when JLo shared the love letters Ben had written to her, and he didn't find out until it already happened. Affleck is a very private guy. That has been made abundantly clear over the years. That means he is also not one to share many comments about his personal relationships. That doesn't mean he isn't a romantic. He clearly is, if the love letters he wrote for JLo are anything to go by. However, it seems that in his perfect world, we would never know about these love letters, especially not the content in them. But once those letters left his hands for JLo's, he lost control over who reads them. JLo let some musicians read the contents of the letters in hopes it would inspire them. This happened while filming the documentary about her movie. Ben allegedly had no idea this was going to happen, which some people say is a serious breach of trust. Even though Affleck appeared taken aback, he seems to have accepted that it happened, and that if JLo wants to call the film the greatest love story never told, the letters about said love story should probably be in it. Affleck hates the spotlight, old news. JLo loves the spotlight, also old news. Opposites attract, but there is only so long people can go on pretending they enjoy something they secretly hate. Affleck has been making it clear that he would prefer to be out of the picture rather than in it. Back at the 2023 Grammys, Affleck made it quite clear he didn't want to be the center of attention that night, leading to a clip of a small disagreement between him and JLo going viral online. The couple were on camera in the first place because the host, Trevor Noah, was doing like a little bit right beside them. It was impossible to not have the couple in the shot. In the viral clip, you can see Affleck lean forward to whisper something in JLo's ear, something she clearly didn't like, as it looks like she's angry with Affleck, says some stern words, and lightly hits him on the chest before turning back around, realizing where the camera is, and smiling. People were quick to comment on this interaction with things like "free Ben" and "Affleck looks miserable." It was causing such a ruckus that Affleck actually ended up clearing the air in a later interview. He shared that the interaction was simply another addition of him being camera shy, saying, "I saw Trevor Noah and I was like, oh god, they were framing us in the shot, but I didn't know they were rolling. I leaned into her and I was like, as soon as they start rolling, I'm going to slide away from you." To which JLo's response was apparently, "You better effing not leave." So she was actually a bit upset with him because he didn't want to be on camera, which could mean nothing in the long run, but if we are looking at the long run of this couple so far, this seems to be a common theme. Ben Affleck's recent home switch has many turning heads. Him and JLo were living together in a mansion they purchased in 2023 for $60.8 million. Now it seems Ben has either moved out or is simply spending some time in a different mansion. The rental the actor is staying at is notably closer to where his ex, Jennifer Garner, lives, which could mean nothing. It also could mean he just wants to live closer to his kids, especially with so many milestones happening, like his daughter's graduation, for example. People are still keeping a close eye on said rental, hoping to get some info about what is going down, or maybe if JLo is staying there too. Some would argue no, after the incident at Affleck's daughter's graduation party. Affleck and JLo attended together and were seen leaving together in his car, heading back to the rental. However, once they got there, JLo was not sticking around, allegedly getting out of one car and into the next before presumably heading home. Now photos of the couple's $60 million mansion are back on Zillow. Nothing has been confirmed yet regarding whether or not the couple is actually selling their property, but the secret photos are an interesting move. Speaking of spending time apart, it looks like Affleck is hanging around making headlines in LA right now, while JLo is off vacationing in Europe. If JLo wanted to keep this mini vacay on the down low, it is not working. Photos have hit celebrity gossip sites of the singer on boats taking selfies because she looks great on a boat in Italy. I think we would all snap a few selfies in that situation. Notably, JLo's husband, he's not there with her. This absolutely might be due to a work-related reason. Affleck does seem quite busy between his current projects being filmed and running Artist Equity with longtime partner in crime Matt Damon. Sources that claim to be close to JLo have given some insight into why Ben and JLo might be apart right now, saying, "Jen loves vacationing in Europe during the summer. It's been nice for her to experience a change of pace and have some breathing room. So it seems like maybe JLo just needs some time away, which could mean nothing." The source confirmed that JLo is having a good time with her girls doing the kind of stuff that is allegedly not really Affleck's scene, like staying out late, getting dressed up to go shopping, dancing, and things like that. The source confirmed that all that isn't really Affleck's thing, saying that's never really been Ben's scene, even when him and Jen weren't having any issues. They did clarify that though Affleck is not there with his wife, JLo isn't letting that dampen her vacation, which, good for her, she's partying the night away in Europe, she should be feeling her best doing that. It's come out that JLo allegedly has rules that Affleck must follow, ranging from some that align with Affleck's lifestyle already, and a few that are unexpected, at least to the public. Some rules that Affleck allegedly must follow that he was probably already doing are working out and not smoking or drinking. One of the newer, surprising rules are no female flight attendants on their flights. When the public found out about this little secret rule, people were quick to call JLo controlling and overbearing. However, there might be a reason JLo allegedly has a rule like this. A past ex of hers, Mark Anthony, allegedly had an affair with a female flight attendant. Ben Affleck has been caught without his wedding ring more than once, which is not a good look amid rumors of divorce. Just a few days ago, the star was out to lunch with his oldest daughter, and NY Post reports that he wasn't wearing his wedding ring, which could mean nothing. One time that Affleck was seen without his ring definitely did mean nothing. The Accountant 2 is in production right now, so Affleck has been filming for that for the past little bit. While on set, he was spotted without his wedding ring, but as I mentioned before, they were filming. The missing ring likely had more to do with filming the movie than anything happening in his personal life. He was seen wearing it the next day as he headed to work, so he is really keeping people on their toes with this one. One big secret everyone wants to uncover is why Affleck and Lopez have been attending some events solo. It's a big mystery everyone wants to solve, and the official statements from the stars are making some people more suspicious than anything else. The biggest event JLo attended alone would have to be this year's Met Gala. The singer was a co-chair for the event, but showed up noticeably single. She looked great on the carpet as she headed in to host the biggest fashion event of the year, but people just couldn't shake that Affleck wasn't there beside her. The official reason given by a rep for Affleck was that he was filming The Accountant 2 in LA and just couldn't make it out. An unofficial statement comes from an alleged friend of Affleck's that he maybe opted out simply because he hates the Met Gala and it's not his scene. What is interesting is the day before the Met Gala, Affleck was present for the roast of Tom Brady, even giving a speech. Many wonder why he was able to get time off for that and not the Met Gala. Though they are on completely different sides of the country and he was already in LA, which could mean nothing. When it came out that JLo not only tries to control how much Affleck tips those in the service industry, but also will secretly exchange larger tips for smaller ones, people were in disbelief. Multiple people have shared their encounters serving JLo and Ben in some way on TikTok, leading to some pretty viral videos. Most stories have one thing in common: JLo is not fun to serve. One former casino employee claimed in a video uploaded to TikTok that JLo would either encourage Affleck to leave smaller tips for employees, or if he'd left something big, circle back later and exchange the tip for something smaller, likely without her husband knowing, but not always. In one particular instance of this, Affleck was allegedly present when it happened and allegedly looked mortified. Now some servers claim Affleck doesn't tip at all anymore, which could mean nothing. Is it possible that Affleck has been keeping his true feelings about his marriage to JLo under wraps? It looks like, if we trust a recent source that has come forward claiming that Affleck said his marriage to JLo was made in a burst of temporary insanity. This source has single-handedly caused the most drama for this couple over the past few months, and with claims like Affleck has come to his senses after years of being in a fever dream regarding his marriage to JLo, it's not hard to see why. The source spoke to Page 6, saying if there was a way to divorce on grounds of temporary insanity, he would. He feels like the last 2 years were just a fever dream, and he's come to his senses now and understands there is just no way this is going to work. Now that's quite a big statement to make, and it could mean nothing, but the way Ben and JLo have been acting for the past few months has led to this source gaining validity every day.
JLo is apparently trying to take half of Ben Affleck's net worth, even though she has double the money he has. Now the pair have been going through a rough patch the last couple of months with rumors of them divorcing. It's said that Ben hates JLo, and listen, we can't blame him. Now recently it's been revealed that JLo is trying to take half of Ben's fortune. Jen and Ben are living separately now that their shared mansion mansion in Beverly Hills is back on the market. Ben, who's starring in The Accountant 2, is renting a place in Brentwood near his ex-wife Jennifer Garner and their kids. Meanwhile, Jen is staying in her LA home with her children Max and Emmy. According to a source from Radar Online, J.Lo wants half of Ben's nearly $150 million fortune, even though she herself has much more, which is about $400 million. The insider alleges that J.Lo, who recently canceled her expensive Los Angeles residency, took on the majority of the financial responsibility. Now, they depict Ben as a huge cheapskate who constantly complained about J.Lo's spending habits. Now, apparently, to avoid his grumbling, Jen covered most expenses to maintain their luxurious lifestyle. One of the little-known secrets is that Jennifer paid for much of their marital expenses, and now she feels he owes her, the source claimed. She's adding up all those private jet bills she put on her plastic, the hotels and meals, clothes, coffee runs, gas. The high cost of living was done on her dime. She paid the lion's share for that $60 million mansion they bought, too, they added. Ben took so much money out of her, at least that's what she's saying. Now, she can take some money from him if she wants, because they didn't get a prenup, which is a big mistake. Now, OK Magazine said that when the pair wedded in Las Vegas, they didn't tie up their assets. According to a source, Jen's love for Ben was so unconditional at the time that she didn't see a prenup as necessary. Now, rumor has it that wasn't the case in the first phase of their relationship. When the pair first came together, a prenup was allegedly on the table. It was claimed that their original prenup not only protected their assets, but protected the relationship from infidelity. Now, the contract stated that the pair were able to keep both of their money, except if Ben cheated. If he stepped out, it would effectively nullify their prenup, putting his fortune at risk. But the two never made it to the altar, so the alleged prenup never had to take effect. But now I'm sure that Ben is wishing there was one right now. A source said Jen and Ben have been living separate lives but have not officially separated yet about Bennifer's relationship status. At this point, they're just doing their own thing. They went into their relationship very optimistic that things could change, but they haven't. Now, one of the biggest reasons for their breakup in the early 2000s was the media attention. Now, history has repeated itself because it seems to be one of the reasons why this relationship isn't working out and why Ben resents Jennifer. Ben likes his privacy while Jen likes to go all out and show it off to the world. Now, we saw how uncomfortable this made Ben in Jen's documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told. When Ben pops up in the doc, it's often to express concern that his private love story is becoming used for something he didn't particularly want. Now, the doc is actually named after a scrapbook that Ben gifted Jennifer for Christmas in 2021, stacked with every letter and email they'd written to each other over the last 20 years. Now, Jennifer showed the book to her producers and songwriters on the first day of making her new album without asking or telling Ben. Now, this revelation comes within the first 5 minutes of the doc, and right out of the gate, Ben isn't shy about his discomfort. He's shocked that Jennifer would share something so personal with her collaborators, and now, of course, with the world. Ben chalked it up to artistic inspiration and said that J.Lo's style was just an adjustment for him. He said, "When Jen and I broke up before, the catalyst for that was this massive amount of scrutiny around our private life. I had a very firm sense of boundaries around the press, while Jen, I don't think, objected to it the way I did." Still though, he was optimistic this time around, and for a while, Ben got swept up in it. But her obsession with the limelight and the need to parade their love all around didn't really sit right with Ben after a while. Not to mention that Jennifer exposed his private love letters to her. Now, later in the documentary, Jen acknowledged that she's aware of Ben's discomfort, but didn't seem willing to do much to improve things for him. "I don't think Ben is very comfortable with me doing all of this," she said. "But he loves me, he knows I'm an artist, and he's gonna support me in every way he can because he knows you can't stop me from making my music." Now, it seems like Jen doesn't really want to change her ways, which is why their relationship ended in the first place. Now, Jen and Ben first met on the set of the 2003 rom-com Geely. Now, at the time, J.Lo was still married to her second husband, her dancer Chris Judd, and J.Lo and Ben then went public with their relationship soon after her divorce from Chris. In November 2002, J.Lo confirmed that they were engaged in an interview with Diane Sawyer. "It's the most magnificent thing I've ever seen," she said of the 6.1 carat pink diamond from Harry Winston that Ben gave her. Now, the ring reportedly cost him $2.5 million. Then in September 2003 though, they postponed their wedding. 2 days before the two were set to officially tie the knot, they released a joint statement announcing the ceremony's postponement. They said, "Due to the excessive media attention surrounding our wedding, we have decided to postpone the date. When we found ourselves seriously contemplating hiring 3 separate decoy brides at 3 different locations, we realized that something was awry. We began to feel that the spirit of what should have been the happiest day of our lives could be compromised. We felt what should have been a joyful and sacred day could be spoiled for us, our families, and our friends." Then on January 22nd, 2024, the two ended their engagement. J.Lo confirmed the sad news through her spokesperson. "I'm confirming the report that Jennifer Lopez has ended her engagement to Ben Affleck," the statement said at the time. "At this difficult time, we ask you to respect her privacy." Now, not to mention, right now, J.Lo is posting cryptic things to her social media accounts, which just has more people talking and speculating. Now, she liked a post that raised some eyebrows, as the post in question reads, "You cannot build a healthy relationship with somebody who, among other things, lacks integrity and emotional safety, doesn't respect your time, doesn't think it's important to call text back in a respectable time frame, lacks effective communication skills, and doesn't know who they are or what they want." Now, if she liked this in relation to Ben, that's not the best thing, and I understand why they'd be going through marital troubles. Then there was the fact that she celebrated the anniversary of her Spanish song Cambia El Paso. While the song was released 3 years ago in 2021, the lyrics seemingly hold a deeper meaning now given the current state of her relationship with Ben. On Sunday, Jennifer shared a clip from the track's music video on Instagram while singing about a man who's undeserving of her love. She knows that, the intro begins, before launching into the first verse that reads, "Her life is better now without him, she knows that her hips don't fail her, she doesn't need anyone to be well, she doesn't fail, she doesn't fail." Yeah, the timing of that post is a little bit suspicious. Now, not to mention that it's been leaked that J.Lo has some truly insane rules that she makes Ben follow. Now, Ben has been open about his addiction to alcohol, as he first checked into a rehab facility in 2001, completing a 30-day residential rehabilitation program. He has sought treatment for alcoholism on several occasions in the years since, getting professional help in 2008, 2017, and again in 2018 after his divorce from Jennifer Garner was finalized. Now, he briefly relapsed in 2019, but said he wouldn't let it derail him, admitting, "It happens, it's a slip." Now, that same year, the actor acknowledged that being an alcoholic is something that he deals with on a daily basis. It's become unfortunately common for fans to speculate about his health, particularly after he married Jennifer Lopez. Now, for example, a clip of Jennifer and Ben having a seemingly tense conversation at the premiere of her movie Shotgun Wedding went viral in January after fans suspected that the pair were arguing over Ben's drinking, as Jen demanded to take a sip of his drink. Now, it appears that she didn't trust him, which I'm sure Ben didn't like. Now, also, female flight attendants are reportedly banned from her private planes. Now, according to reports, Jennifer was so angry after finding out her then husband Mark Anthony had an alleged fling with a flight attendant that she banned women from working on her private planes. She hates flight attendants because her ex-husband Mark Anthony had an affair with one when they were married, an anonymous source revealed. Now, several corporate flight attendants came forward and revealed that Jennifer does not allow female associates to work on their flights. J.Lo won't let a female flight attendant work. She brings her own male flight attendant, who is not a flight attendant but a personal assistant. Now, it was also reported that J.Lo demanded course 4 times a week from her husband, and Ben denied this and her other rules in a Vanity Fair interview, saying, "You can't legislate behavior, you've got to believe in the person and believe you can meet the challenges you face. Neither of us are stupid or naive. It would be nice if you could have the rules, but you just can't write it down," he explained.